Pixar animations like us are still popular?
Is Andy gone? Well, but yeah, it's all thanks to Pixar that our stories became so popular.
Do you think the kids will like our fellow animations in the future?
I hope so. I mean, I think it's that time of the year again. We have to call the Board of Animations together and see if there's any recommendations we can give to Pixar, help them stay on top of their industry.
Don't worry, Woody. I have the top people coming in to talk to us about how to keep this business going to infinity and beyond.
Hey guys, I've been eating my spinach and doing my homework. Wait, where's Dory?
Well, she probably just kept on swimming, but I think we can manage without her.
I'm sure we can come up with a great recipe.
Mr. Incredible, reporting for duty. I've been analyzing the environment and I have some suggestions too.
All right, well, if we're all here, let's call this meeting to order. All right, guys, so Buzz tells me that we've prepared a financial analysis, a SWOT analysis, and a Porter's Five Forces analysis. And you've all sent that to me, and I've put together a little portfolio for us to all use. Here you go. So we're all on the same page. Buzz, Nemo, Mr. Incredible, and Alfredo. We're the 5 best animations that Pixar has, so it's up to us to see what we can do to make a difference. Alfredo, I believe that you've been asked to prepare the financials and that you have something to share with us.
Well, Woody, let me pick that up because I have prepared this financial report for us and I want to share with you guys. Oh, bonjour, mes amis.
Alfredo, can you do this in English, please?
Yes, sir. Please, I apologize for that. According to our research, the revenue that Pixar has created during opening time for their last 5 movies has increased marginally compared to their other movies. More people are looking forward to watching our movies. Pixar's first 5 movies created around $822 million in profit for the company. Cost of production was much lower back in those days. However, Pixar cost of production has increased since the 90s and has caused some losses on certain projects, for example Cars 2. Despite increased cost of production, Pixar currently has a gross domestic profit on average of around $89 million per movie. This average consists of movies from Up in 2009 to Monsters University in 2013. Pixar has already covered the cost of productions of each movie for the last 5 movies and recognized profit. As more time goes by, the sales of DVDs and Blu-rays will continue to grow for these movies, creating more revenue for Pixar. I could go on all the details for each number, but I wouldn't want to bore you or even make you fall asleep, like Nemo.
I'm awake, I'm awake.
Overall, Pixar has more than enough financial resources to go in any direction they want to go.
All right, well, thank you, Alfredo. We definitely got a lot of money to work with, apparently. So since we have all this money to work with, because the last few films have been super successful, and the gross profit margin, right, has been really high on those.
Wait.
So we definitely have a lot of money to work with. And we can make some changes, and we're not in trouble in the short term. So let's get some diving deeper into some more analyses and see what we can do.
Okay, so we're set there. Nemo, you got the SWOT analysis?
That's right, Buzz. Alright guys, I've got the SWOT analysis. So, basically Pixar has turned itself into one of the leading animation studios by being innovative and creative. I've come up with a list of Pixar's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. First, Pixar's got quality films. Everybody loves Toy Story and Finding Nemo. On top of that, Pixar has strong brand recognition in addition to their latest acquisition by Disney. They've also got live attractions at Disneyland, and they sell lots of merchandise that relates to their movies. By far, their greatest strength is their product portfolio. They have made some of the best animated films such as Cars, Monsters, Inc., A Bug's Life, and The Incredibles.
Wait, Angie's coming.
Are you sure?
I think it was a false alarm.
Phew, that was a close one. On the other hand, Pixar does have a handful of weaknesses. The biggest struggle for them is how long it takes to develop one movie. It can take between 4 and 7 years just to produce one, leaving them with an average release time of about 1 movie per year. It's difficult to choose between quality and quantity. They have been able to pump out the hits year after year, but can they keep up with demand? I've also noticed that there's been criticism about any sequels that they produce. I don't know why the crowd is so tough on movies like Cars 2 and Toy Story 2 and 3. It's probably because they did such an amazing job with the first movies that kids want that plus more. After looking at their strengths and weaknesses, I thought it'd be a great idea to look at the opportunities that they can expand on. I brainstormed a few ideas. First of all, they definitely need to continue their alliance with Disney. They can create more TV shows, put them on Disney Channel, and they can emphasize merchandising through the Disney stores and the theme parks. Oh, and also, haven't you seen that short film about the bluebirds on the telephone line? I'm sure that kids and their parents would love to see more shorts like that. They could create additional branches that work purely on short films. It would also be awesome if there was extra training available for new talent. When I grow up to be big and strong like my dad, I would love to work for Pixar. Looking at their threats, it was easy to see that DreamWorks is their biggest competitor. Womp womp. They have movies like Shrek and Kung Fu Panda, which have been pretty huge box office hits. Also, since it takes so long for Pixar to create one movie, and they only release about one per year, if they produce one bad film, that could put them way behind the rest of their competition. There's always a chance of kids and their families finding other things to do besides going to the movies, especially since movie ticket prices are on the rise. And they might even choose to just wait until films are on Netflix or Redbox.
Wow, so we have a lot of different things we can do. Does anybody have any recommendations we can do with our strengths and opportunities to get rid of some of our weaknesses?
Wait, Woody, don't jump to anything yet. I've asked Mr. Incredible to prepare a report on the Porter's 5 forces affecting Pixar.
Oh, my bad, Mr. Incredible. Alright, what do you got for us?
Alright, Woody, I got my Porter's analysis right here. Alright, here's my Porter's analysis. Well, let's start off with the threat of new entrants. How many companies are trying to break into the computer animation industry? Let me tell you, there aren't that many. The high cost of capital stops them from entering the industry. And even then, the new entrants won't be able to beat our high product differentiation. Our quality will be better than anyone can produce because of the time and uniqueness we put into the animation. Like Steve Jobs said, quality beats quantity, and one home run is much better than 2 doubles. Rest is perfection itself. And overall, the new entrant's threat level is very low. Now let's talk about some real threats. There are a few big companies still competing with us. The usual: DreamWorks, Illumination Animations, the Jim Henson Company, and Lucasfilms. Also, we should consider Netflix as a threat. I would say the threat of substitutions are pretty high. Next on my analysis is buyer's power. Buyers aren't likely to influence the price of a movie ticket, but they are able to control the amount of revenue that we make for our movies. And buyers also have the option to pick whatever movie they want to watch. But we can get buyers to feel an association with our memorable characters and heartwarming stories, having a strong brand loyalty with Pixar. This shouldn't be a problem.
Supplier's power.
Well, only a few suppliers dominating this industry, and Pixar is its own supplier. We make our own movies at Pixar Animation Studios, and just to let everyone know, the technology isn't the driver of the films. It's the creativity and the skill of each employee. Yep, about 1,200 of them. But please don't think technology is an important component. It's definitely a big component when making these films. And lastly, competitive rivalry. And I'll just reiterate, we're in competition with the DreamWorks, the Jim Henson Company, and Lucasfilms.
Alright guys, so we've heard a lot of information. We summed it up. We kind of know where we're at now. As we all know, Pixar is a great company, and they're the ones that made us the stories that we are today. The problem is keeping the level of perfection that Steve Jobs and the rest of upper management has instilled in our culture, and making sure that we continue that tradition of making the best movies in the animation industry. We've already had one delay in a movie this year, but I'm sure that the dinosaurs in those movies won't mind too much, because we all know that it's going to be a perfect movie when it comes out. But hold on, look at us. We make so much money with our excellent movies and perfect animation. We have the top talent in the industry. However, we do know Mickey Mouse is the owner now. I know no one's happy about it, but he's putting a lot of pressure on us to make more movies. And since he's our boss, we kind of have to oblige. So, he's saying that he just doesn't understand taking 4 years to make one movie. And obviously, that's how we've operated our whole lives, and they're trying to let us do our thing. However, we want to make a movie a hit every time. We're not going to give in to Mickey because that's in our culture. We are being pestered to produce more movies, but we still have to maintain the level of perfection that we demand from ourselves. So, what do you guys think?
Well, we can teach them how to cook back in La Paris.
Yeah, I don't know how they do things in France, but here it's not okay to have rats cooking food. I think we should teach them how to fly.
Buzz, please. All you do is follow a style. I think we should do a training camp. Get strong like me.
No, Dory and I can teach him how to swim and speak whale.
I can speak well.
I don't know how I feel about Dory and a bunch of kids hanging out in the Pixar Studios. They would probably break something. Well, guys, I think I have just the right idea.